Oh, yeah. That's actually one of the best parts of the song. I don't know why I ended it right there. Damn. Well, either way, we got some fun in the sun here today. We got some Titan Quest 2. Again, we're coming back to since the launch of its early access. Huge shout out to THQ Nordic for hosting this stream and the subsequent video. Oh, was there not? Well, watch what's going on here. That's not good. Sometimes my SteelSeries things, it's all messed up. Well, there will be now. Boom. Titan Quest up. I don't know why this has been very choppy lately, and I'm not sure why. This is like a fucking problem where like it works one time and then it just doesn't the other time. Couldn't tell you why. What is up, Donnie? How you doing, man? Kirazan's up in this house. Hello, everyone. So if you, I assume most people here know what Titan Quest 2 is, but I will talk about it. Okay, hold on. Weird, man. I don't know why the encoder is overloading. There's nothing to overload. You got sound. We got tone. We got tone. Eagle 1, Fox 3. I know, I did something. Yeah, the encoder's overloading. Not sure why. We'll figure it out in post. THQ Nordic sent me the game a little bit early yesterday, so I was able to kind of play around with some stuff. If you have never played Titan Quest, let me load into this character just to kind of give you an idea of what's going on. So Titan Quest 2 just came out with its newest patch, and in that patch, they brought a whole new chapter, a whole bunch of new enemies, new quests, basically an expansion upon the game's current offerings. Now, they didn't expand on any of the masteries, anything like that, but that will be coming down the road. Spirit Mastery is the next mastery that'll be coming here to make our 6th mastery. I don't know how many total masteries there are going to be. I also don't know when Titan Quest 2 is coming out fully, so there is that to consider. I was taking a look at the actual Steam page before I started here today, because I was like, you know what? I don't know exactly everything that's coming, so it's worth knowing. And the Wildlands says 5 new fated quests, 13 new world quests, uncover more than 20 unique hidden events and secrets in the expansive handcrafted open world, plus more than 20 additional randomized events. 18 new dungeons, more different biomes than ever. I think this is just saying, oh no, this is Wildlands specifically. Over 10 major points of interest, largest chapter so far, new environmental critters. Also, our maps are lovingly handcrafted and filled with environmental stories and secrets. Also, a bunch of new enemies, boarmen, centaurs, nemesis cultists, wildlife, 3 new bosses, mini bosses, and then hero monsters. So they've got these new hero monsters here. We are starting off with this first limited set of 4 hero monsters in this chapter. These creatures are named creatures within existing factions with dedicated new abilities and can randomly appear in certain encounters from the chapter. Examples include Frost Silk, a giant spider whose web and silk has frozen solid, giving her the ability to spit deadly icicles or shoot forth streams of frozen spikes and the loathsome dung thrower, not to be confused with dung thrower, which is exactly what I just said. But that is here now in the newest chapter that just launched. Now, Titan Quest, of course, is in early access, so keep that in mind. Elrath, what's up, man? If you never played Titan Quest 1, the same people who ended up leaving Titan Quest 1 and going and making Grim Dawn are the same folk. So Grim Dawn and Titan Quest share the same lineage to Titan Quest 2. I don't know if it's the same people, but the IP is pretty loved when it comes to action adventure games. So think of Diablo, right? You start, you make a character. Think of Path of Exile. You start, you make a character. In this, you start, you make a character, and you choose 2 different masteries. And those masteries then dictate what your character is. So I always used to play Warfare and Earth, which is then a battle mage. But if I click here and we click preview, the way they've done things with Titan Quest 2 is they've broken things into passives and actives. So this is your passive side. Anything that is a diamond or a triangle. Anything that is a square over here is a, I said diamond or triangle. It's a diamond. Anything over here is in your active side. If it has that little circle around it, as well as it being in a square configuration. So these are your active capabilities. These are your passive capabilities. So there's lots of passives. And you're going to go ahead and just choose 2 that you want to do. Like, okay, this is a bunch of fire magic and earth magic. Storm is a bunch of lightning and ice magic. Rogue is a bunch of rogue style stuff. So you're going to have ranged in here. You're going to have backstab capabilities. Lots of pierce or strike is what it's called too. Pierce and strike are 2 very similar things. 2 different types of melee damage. Poison, stuff like that. Almost every single one of these will have auras. So Flechette, what's up, man? So like Earth, for example, has a fire aura. Storm has an ice and lightning aura. Rogue has a poison aura. Warfare has a damage and armor aura. I think we've got 2 different damage and armor aura. Armor aura. Now, Forge is new. It is unique to Titan Quest 2, and this is what we're going to focus on today. It's a lot of summons. So you get this thing called an automaton, or you can go with a blade trap, or you can go with a sentry. So you have a lot of really cool devices that you summon. And it's kind of, I don't want to say steampunk, right? Because we're in mythological Greece, we're in the Age of Heroes. So you have a lot of really cool capabilities there. But you can couple this with Earth, which used to be like the go-to pet summoning class. You have this thing right here called a Core Dweller, which is your greater summon. So this gives you a sense of how the game works. And when it comes to the passives too, you can scale things in a number of different ways. So, hey, I want to do a bunch of summons. That's right here. Well, I want to do even more summon stuff. I think it's right here. You know, summons have increased elemental damage. There's another one here for summons. So here maybe? No. Here maybe? Here maybe? No? No, there's another one there. Aha, here. So it's like you get to play a lot with these and add more and more and more summons into the layering of the game. And every single class will have these, so you're not kind of like, man, we got to turn some of this down. Sucks that it's like when I go to play these things on stream, I'm like, I gotta turn it down because the game's gorgeous. Today we're gonna summon Max pretty much. I'm gonna be Earth and Forge. I have this blank character though that I can show you different things. I'm working in my brain a Storm and Rogue build because I really like a lot of the stuff that Rogue brings. Rogue brings a lot of the things that were brought with, it wasn't Spirit, but Titan Quest 1 had a DLC where you went into Hades, into the underworld, and it brought a mastery with it. It was like Shadow or Dream or something like that, and it had like a blink capability that was really cool. So one of the things about this game is, cool, I choose Lethal Strike. It's a weapon attack. I see it has an exhaust on there. So it's like a lot of the standard conventions of action RPGs where there's underlined characteristics, right? Consumes flow, which is a mechanic. I hold down Alt, and I can see flow. Well, you know what? This, I clicked on this so you can see. Now, every single ability has modifiers you can put into them. So for example, Lethal Strike here, I can put Shadow Strike, teleport to a target before attack, 8-meter range, increases the energy cost and the cooldown duration, but now it will be a movement and a teleport capability. It adds those tags to it. Or I can make it so that it will do on hit deals 80 poison damage plus 20 per plague stack on target in a 2-meter radius. So I can focus really hard on lots of plague and poison mechanics and have this teleporting poison blow up strike situation, or Shadow Dagger turns into a ranged single target spell instead of being an actual melee capability. So you can morph all these abilities in a lot of really cool ways. It does add a lot of complexity though, which is fun, but I mean, I went to build out a character and I was spending so much time just looking at this, which is fine. But I'm just saying, like, it's a lot more in depth than the previous Titan Quest. It's the same thing here with passives, but passives are much smaller. So this does ailment chance and ailment power. Well, we can increase both of those, or the amount of ailments that we get. So you get a lot of really cool granularity in all of these things, and accessing further tiers of these you get by investing in Divinity, which is this track over here. Which is cool is they give you 3 sets of points: Divinity points, active points, and passive points. So let's say you're going through and you're like, well, I only have 15 points left. Well, you only have 15 points in active. You're going to have more points in passive. So this allows you to invest points in lots of different passives to give you a lot of different characteristics for your build. So that is how the game works. Any questions, anything like that? I figure it's pretty cut and dry. It's pretty upfront, but I don't know how well people know the Titan Quest series anymore. It used to be Titan Quest was on the level just below Diablo 2 back in the day. Titan Quest came out in 2003, 2004, I want to say. But you know, like I said, its successor, Grim Dawn, more than likely. And I got 4 Warhammer games to give away here today. We might just do 2 of them. I'll hold 2 for 2 more. So today we're going to go with the Devastator. Now, Devastator is a combination of Earth and Forge. Earth and Forge is pretty cool. I'll show you guys why. I'm actually not even going to be focusing on doing any actual combat. I have these 2 big ass summons right here, right? So we get our Core Dweller and we get our Automaton, which are both super cool. And then I summon these little blade traps like this. And then I can also throw this sphere down. And then anything within this sphere is going to take more damage. Device summons inside the area deals 60% increased damage. And enemies inside the area take 10% increased damage. And enemies in it do 10% less damage. So it's this really cool capability that you get to use. And then we can obviously, if I go back to Forge, you can just to see what this looks like. These little gems right here, these like the sockets you put into this. So it's really fun. Armor, can I increase the size of it? Control duration skill, damn, you can't. So I am kind of thinking though of doing a swapping to Sentry rather than Blade Trap, and respecking is as simple as pressing this button and uninvesting the points like that. Now there is another thing about this game. I talked about those auras. You've got a bunch of summons, so there are sustained abilities. You can see that I have 3 sustained abilities active. I have near no mana as a result. So you would increase mana through stuff like your passives and such like that. You do get attributes as well. And this is pretty, like, again, pretty straightforward. Fitness is going to be damage and pierce. Cunning is going to be poison and lightning. And resolve is going to be fire and cold. We're predominantly doing fire, cold, and strike and or pierce. Well, we're predominantly doing fire damage and then strike and pierce damage. So we put majority of our points into might, because might branches into these 2. And we're putting the majority of our points into vigor because it goes into all 3 of these. But vigor is also what increases our base health points. You'll notice that knowledge, it does not increase your energy. Agility does not increase your energy. Might does not increase your energy. So it's kind of worth noting these things. Oh, shit. What is eating my resources so much? I think I know what it is, actually. That actually helped a lot. Okay, good. Preview. Options. I promise this game runs buttery smooth if you're not streaming it. Like that. Oh, you Fantastico. How you doing, man? So we'll go in here and we will go to Pokemon's Path and teleport. Yeah, sounds about right for an NVIDIA driver update. There's a lot of quests in this game. It's not necessarily a very like... It's not a very thin game in that regard, which is nice. I'm not liking this at all. This is really pissing me off. I demand a certain level of visual fidelity when I'm playing with the folk. Zypher! Don't mind me, I'm just streaking around. Good to see you, man. No, you can totally... Oh, do you mean your masteries? So, you know what? Let me actually talk about that real quick. They added this statue, and I don't know when they added it, if I'm being totally honest. So go to Mount Olympus. I don't know if you have to get there in a certain point in the game, or if it's always here. So you come over here. To Ritual of Athena. Refund all invested attribute points, cost various amounts of gold. Or Ritual of Ares, choose from these different options. Increase or decrease difficulty, elevate minimum enemy level, or respawn enemies in the area. So you can do either one of those. Now, if you're asking, can you respec your mastery? You were never able to in one. I don't think you can, unless they added it, and I didn't see it, but I don't think you can. You can respec within your mastery. I don't think you can swap new ones. I just got this new keyboard. Pretty nice. Yeah, the forge pets are pretty cool. No, I might swap out this blade trap. Yeah, what was cool is they gave me like early access, and the early access gave me I have a bunch of pre-generated characters. So this is a pre-generated character by them, and it was cool to be able to basically just choose a character and jump in and see what gameplay is like now. Because I had made a character, they gave me one that's blank, and I can make it whatever I want. And I was like, Jesus, I don't remember builds being so in-depth in this game. So what's cool is Forge drops these divine cores, uses a resource for some Forge abilities. So some of these will say that it costs 5 divine cores, which is like this one will. So even though my mana is nothing, right? 61 mana is all I got right now. I can summon as many of these as I want. Assuming I've got the core for, oh shit, move over here. Force Field's a really cool ability. Gear wise though, gear's pretty standard, but you also get these things called glyphs, charms, and relics. And you can, I'm sorry, relics, charms, that's it, no glyphs. You socket them into your actual armor. So this has one on it, boar hide for poison resistance, lightning resistance, and health per level. This one has it for summons, have 45% increased damage and increase all speed. So you get to play around with that. I don't know what this is. I don't know if a loot filter is coming to the game. That was my biggest question mark about the current game. Or yeah, there's a lot of new stuff, man. I haven't played since launch. So there's lots of new. I mean, Earth and Forge are the two newest masteries, and these are them combined. That's why I chose these today, and I think they're really cool. I think they play really well together. I can activate my Core Dweller when I do empower Core Dweller while channeling, and for as long as you're channeled for up to 2 seconds, heal this summon for 8% health. So it's a really cool way to just, hey, it's losing health. Pull down here and just start giving it health, basically. I apologize for the frame rate, guys. I was playing last night, screaming at 120, 140 frames per second. I gotta figure out why, when I stream, my frame rate just tanks. It doesn't make any sense to me. I have too strong of a computer for this to happen, you know what I mean? I should use the like auto setup wizard within OBS to figure out what's going on. Where are my summons, Anakin? Oh, cool. Cobra's my favorite. I mean, it's not a flex if it doesn't look good, right? So what's cool is my automaton, when I active effect it, it empowers, reduces the restoration timer, and heals the summon. But I've socketed into it. Take a look at this. This is pretty cool. So if you look at the automaton, I've done fire attachment. On activation, this attachment deals fire damage every 3.3 seconds in a cone, automatic, but it automatically activates every 5 seconds, scales with activation speed. And this one, on activation, this attachment releases 3 waves of 6 to 8 erratic lightning projectiles, dealing a bunch of damage. Now it just automatically does it. So, you can see that he's got the little gems on his shoulders. That shows that he's enchanted with those things. It's a pretty sick mechanic. Something in April never showed. I finally realized it and I had to create a can't just file. They never sent me shit. Honestly, I love Etsy. I use Etsy all the time. I mean, the summons are pretty strong, man. Like, I can sit here like, hey, mine's really starting to take damage. I'm channeling right now to heal it back up. They did a good job of making summons feel impactful in the way that they did in 1. Which I think was important, right? Because I need to get that core over there. That guy's got the core. Because it's kind of like one of my... The summons were my favorite play style. This big old core dweller was sick. I'll be honest, Kira, it kind of just feels like every company's like that nowadays. Did you watch the documentary on BlackBerry? Not documentary, it's a biopic from BlackBerry. It's got what's his name from Always Sunny? Dennis. And they were talking about like how can Apple afford to do this? How can they afford it? Like, and so the guy who, oh dude, check it out, it's so good. Dennis's character calls the head of AT&T and is like, how are you even, like, why are you doing this? There's no money to be made. Like, you can make money with me. And he goes, it's not about the money of like the phone calls. We're not making money on that. And they discover that what they're making money on is selling the data. And that's like the beginning. That's why, like, it's why I don't like iPhone. It's why I hate Apple. And everyone's like, Apple's the best. I'm like, you are plugging right into the system that is directly pulling from you. I mean, now everyone does it, right? So it's like no company's any better, but it's such a good biopic. Little waypoint action. The sentry trap I like, but I kind of, or I'm sorry, the blade trap I like. I kind of want to try the sentry though. Easy swap out. This. So there's lots of different item types in this game. I'm wearing rare. There's infrequent. I should have a raging bull here. Here's an epic. So there's typical kind of setup here. Jessup just asked, do you think the closed alpha version of Total War Warhammer 40k will get pirated so people can enjoy 1 or 2 battles until the game releases? No, I don't think it'll get pirated, dude. I know the process that they put through for all those things, and it's only accessible through Steam directly, and they're pretty, which you can pirate, right? That's not like unheard of territory. But it's a little, actually, you know what? This gives me, so my can you guys see the energy thing here? Energy, all my sustained abilities create reserved energy. So some items will have this on it, plus 37 free energy reservation. So that was at 375. Now it'll say 308. So that gave me a little bit of room, right? Which is really nice. It's still heavy armor. We'll hold on to this. Sell that. Sell that. Just a cool axe. This fire axe of alacrity. Striker armor. Oh, strike armor, sorry. Health and movement speed. This is cold, isn't it? Better axe, but does it have any summon on now? This, because this has summons increased damage, and it's got tortured soul, and I don't think you can rip off. You get a repository for all your quest items too, which is kind of fun. Okay, we're good. I don't know if they have a transmog system. I think I remember that being a discussion point, but I don't know. I couldn't give you an honest answer. Ironclad. You gain a bunch of armor. Ooh, that's sick. Metal welding. Armor eruption, which is pretty cool. Your armor explodes. And the skill damage scales with your armor, which is really fun. Chain spell, sentry, minefield, tempered arsenal, an aura, increasing your armor and base weapon damage. Forge call, create 3 metal orbs orbiting you. Each orb deals strike damage on contact. Welcome back, Donnie. We got blade trap. It is pretty sick. I wanted to swap this out and try out sentry. So we had, ooh. Does this have the same thing? Summon limit here. So much right there. Whiskey powder. Again, if you have any questions, go ahead and let me know. I am no expert on Titan Quest 2, but I am very well versed on Titan Quest. And just the forge, all the forge abilities look really good. Archer gameplay too is really fun in this game. Is that a hot take? Would we call that a hot take? That just feels like a normal take to me, brother. You know, title. I hope there is a transmog system. So if you played Titan Quest 1, Titan Quest 1 had 4 chapters. Ooh.
Human in these lands is rare. But to step into a centaur power circle, rarer still. Regardless, I must test your strength, as tradition demands.
You would go through. Let me try. Oh. I will say this is. It's a very difficult game. You have an ability here called Barrier. If I press it, you watch my character. Boom. You get like an actual barrier around your character. It's represented by this. You can see the barrier draining. So it's a full basic, like, this is 621, and you've got your core skills here. So for example here, primary attack is what I'm just using, right? You've got your dodge. You can add more points into these respective skills, which I think is a pretty cool way to play. Like for example, I don't have any points in primary attack, but I have an archer character who has tons of points in primary attack because I can use volley to split my actual arrows, all sorts of cool things that you can use by just going through the primary attack modifiers. And that's a really cool characteristic of this game, which I like a lot. Versus like, oh, you know, if I want to be an archer, I have to choose these 2 masteries. Like, no, you can just go ahead and make your modifier one, your base attack just super jacked. Let's go. Bring that. But okay, in Titan Quest 1, you went through 4 acts. You went through Greece, Egypt, a short stint in Babylonia, and then you went to Olympus to finish off the game. The armor sets that dropped in these locations were themed to the location's theme. So we were in Greece, you went through Minos, you went through the maze, you fought the Minotaur, that was the Act 1 boss. You would get Corinthian style of Greek armor. Corinthian style of Greek armor is this. That is a Corinthian style of helmet. Greeks during the so there's a difference between Hellenic and Hellenistic, right? That's pre and post Alexander the Great. There's a difference between antiquity and classic. Classic is Roman times. So when Rome conquers Greece, I think that's the beginning of the classical era. Antiquity is pretty much sub-Roman times, when Greek, it's like before, it's like after the Bronze Age, but before the rise of like Rome in its entirety. And what we think of as Greece is the age of heroes, which is again prior spit in my mouth. Well, what? Which is prior to the Bronze Age collapse. When we have stuff like Mycenae. Oh, no. It's post Bronze Age collapse, because the Iliad takes place after the formation of like the major city states. All over the place. But the Age of Heroes, which is what the Iliad is about, they didn't wear armor like that. They didn't wear the bronze. There's a specific name for bronze sculpted armor that looks like jacked abs. You know what I mean? Not Lorica. That's the Roman version. Hoplite armor is kind of, if you want to call it that thing. So yeah. I can't think of the name of it. It's frustrating me. But you typically wore bronze or like these sculpted heavy linen armor pieces, or like Mycenaeans wore really heavy bronze armor, and it was just a bunch of little bronze plates with like a bronze, just stupid looking helmet. This helmet right here is actually very similar to it. There's a specific name for this helmet, and I cannot think of it off the top of my head, but it has a big scoop forward like that. That was the Greek armor of the time. When we see stuff like this with these tassets on the side here, this would probably be made of a linen, with tassets coming down the sides of it. This would be what a Corinthian style classic looking Greek that we would think of would look like. And that was created in the classical era, and it was made more, Sparta, for example, after Sparta's kind of fall, quote unquote, Sparta goes into a period of just kind of obscurity. No one really cares about Sparta. And this is post conquest of Rome by Rome, after the Peloponnesian Wars, because the Greek peninsula is called the Peloponnese Peninsula, right? And Sparta was reinvigorated by one specific thing: tourism. So look at this jack looking armor. The region, specifically Sparta, was known for being a tourist location. You wanted to go see the famous warriors of Sparta. Well, people would wear very ornamented, very over-the-top Greek armor. And that's kind of a lot of the armor that was passed down through imagery into the Dark Ages, into the medieval ages, the Middle Ages, and what gets kind of recorded by monks, until we start to find actual archaeological evidence of the way that Greeks actually looked during that time. Phrygian helmet. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Couldn't think of it. And even the Phrygian helm is not a helm that you would see during like the Bronze Age. Bronze Age collapse happens when Smoky Fnatt has ethical. It's like what 100 BC? Oh, this is better than mine. Good. Look at that. Look at that. Yo, Arthur, what up, man? That's pretty sick looking. I have yet to see. Oh, okay. So shift right click on sockets. Boom. Love that. So this one's even better than my current helmet I have on, even though it looks really cool. Shift right click, put that right in there. Ornate armor. Nice. Did you see the MMO game? What's the MMO game, dude? Tell me everything about it. You know I like me some MMOs. Echoes of something? Sounds familiar. A brutal mace of power. Oh, two-handed. not really looking to go the two-handed route with this build. I can show you guys a cool build that I made, kind of theory crafted. It needs tuning because it's very easy to go too wide in this game, which is what I was doing. Like, I only have really one active ability. That's it. These guys are passive, more or less. It means locked. Oh, also, I guess my blade trap is active. So I had a Corsair K65 or something. It was like a 70% keyboard. And now I'm using a Corsair Vanguard 96 because they were on sale. And it has like these keys. Oh man, the mechanicals, they're MTX Quantums. They're not the Hall effect, but they're so like funky and lovely. Love it. So we'll just sell those. Okay. Oh, this is a torso piece. Okay. Embers of the Uncrowned. Is that coming out? What is that one? Tell me more, brother. Sit by the fireside. A demo, you say? Here we go. Sell real quick. So I know we got a lot of action RPG fans here. What are you guys thinking of this? What does this look like to you guys? What's cool is here, I'm on Mount Olympus right now. So, new mastery, not in this update, Appiodici, but they said before the end of the year, Spirit Mastery is coming, and it looks quite cool. It's like I don't want to call it a necromancer, but it's the closest you're probably going to get within this game because it's going to summon up a bunch of like ghostly and spiritual soldiers. So like Narcissus is right here. Yeah, we're on Mount Olympus, so we've got Orion over here. Scorpios is right here. Daedalus is over here.
Welcome to her. And if you're in, well, I can make it worth your while.
Is there a quick sell all my items thing? Hoplite Fire Sword looks sick as hell. Oh, didn't mean to do that. When's the last time you played the game, Appiodici? Because I did add Forge. I think I added Earth last. So either Earth or Forge was one of the last ones added in. I don't remember. I thought there was a button that will sell. Oh, you can change different inputs of that care if you guys care about that too. There was a sell all button. Loot plate visibility, loot interactability, loot plates, loot tooltip. I don't see it.
How are you, friend?
Oh, shift left click does it. I was like, I know there's a way to do this. Shift left click just sells all of your junk items that you've already pre-assigned. You can also see, I think it's probably video. That up. Oh, there's a loot filter. So items below the chosen rarity will be hidden in the world. This is a very basic implementation of the loot filter. We will add new features to create a more powerful loot filter in the future. So this is the progression. Common, magical, rare, infrequent, which is that green I showed you, epic, and then legendary. Epic is like the purpley, and legendary I think is orange in this game. So anything below rare, we just don't care about. Some active points. I don't know what I want to put them into. Also, you get more points here, modifiers per break point. You can see 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, 17. That's all maxed out. Earth's is pretty much maxed out. Oh, this is not fully. Let's just max this out. Good. Actually, oh no, that's right. Yeah, just do that. And then we can get more passives. Same thing here with passives. They have different breakpoints depending on how many. It's usually max is the last breakpoint, and then half of max is your other. So this is 5 and 10. This is 4 and 8. This one helps out with the energy reserve though. I like this. We'll fix that out. Energy, max energy, unlocks Ether Shield. What was Ether Shield again? While above 50% energy, 10% of damage taken is absorbed by energy. Cost. No. Reject. Do that. That just helped us out with more of our energy. Kind of helped out with. See, we got more energy now overall. Lower reserve. So overall, a better situation. Okay, go here. Teleport back in. It's water here soon. Roman got his teeth cleaned on Tuesday. Oh, man. They look great. Sparkly white. Oh, the giant eagle. So I think one thing I kind of like, not concerns me, but I think this game is solid for it being an early access. It feels very polished. It's felt very polished from the start as far as its overall like gameplay and playability. It was just, you know, lacking in any real kind of content, right? When it first came out, I think it was just chapter 1, which is fine, right? That's early access for you. I'm a little worried of how this game is going to sit in Smokey. That's a really cool idea. I am surprised I haven't made a Conan ARPG in this kind of engine in isometric ARPG fashion. I think a Conan, like not Dark Souls, but a game that kind of action RPG would be pretty cool. But I'm worried that, you know, it's like making a strategy game right now. We've unfortunately passed the golden era of strategy games, and people don't really play strategy games anymore. And if they do, it's for nostalgia, because, like, you know, Age of Mythology did like some sort of refresh or remake or whatever, you know. We're kind of beyond that. Whereas I would say that used to be kind of some of the biggest games were strategy games. StarCraft and Warcraft and Red Alert, or Command and Conquer for that matter. Age of Mythology, Total Annihilation, Supreme Commander. Those were all some of the big Age of Empires. Age of Empires is still one of the biggest RTSs right now, but it doesn't sit in like the, I hate this word, but I'm going to use it again, social gestalt of video games anymore. When people think of video games, they think of first-person shooters, extraction shooters, sports games, those kind of, or like an open world GTA, right? Like those games kind of eat up the majority of the gaming continuum, I guess you could say. Because even though I think the majority of gamers don't play a lot of those games, we have to look at the top of the bell curve, and the top of the bell curve does, right? And it's interesting, like, okay, I did that video on Mistfall Hunter and people were like, no one wants to play extraction shooters. I'm like, everyone wants to play extraction shooters. Extraction shooters are the most popular shooter game out there right now. Everyone still plays Fortnite. Everyone still plays PUBG and Tarkov. So it's interesting to say that. Like no one wants to play PvP. I'm like, everyone wants to do that. Update so far has been great, Vic. How are you, dude? Good to see you. Guys, everybody in chat say hi to Vicentib.
This must be the sanctuary of the Sophoi. Surely they'll understand that we didn't mean to kill Ixion.
The same thing as fashion. They come and go in different styles. Sometimes they come and go back. Sometimes they don't. I feel like grew up in the era like that specific sometimes. 100%.
You're the one, aren't you? Explain yourself. He told you to bring Ixion here. Instead, you killed him. Our forefather. Do you think that we'll just
Vic, am I supposed to... how much should I keep shouting out a thank you to THQ? I opened up the stream with it, because that's what you're supposed to do. Because remember, guys, this is a sponsored stream by THQ Nordic. As I said before, though, if you want to check out the game, you can use the custom link I have. You know, actually, I should put that over here. Check out Quest 2 here. I forgot I can do that over here on. So we're restreaming. It's over there on YouTube, but there we go. It's now pinned over here onto Twitch. Problem is oversaturated with extraction type games. There are far too many, so it makes it really hard. Oh, I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you. But to say that like it's a dead genre, like no one wants to play it, it's untrue. And this is what I'm talking about with this game. It's like I'm worried that this game is coming out at a time you have unused remnants from defeated bosses which can be used to resummon them. What? Oh, that's pretty cool. Okay.
Devotee.
That's cool. So can I just directly go to those bosses now? Because now you can do this now. You can increase difficulty, elevate minimum enemy level, respawn enemies in an area, or refund all of your invested attributes. There used to be no way to respec your attribute points. So this game comes out in a genre that is not oversaturated, but you've got the two heavy hitters in the genre, right? And I'm worried people won't give this a chance because it's not one of those games. When it existed in a time where there was really only one primary action adventure. People tried to make clones, but they were really not good. This was one of the standout good ones. And then really like a handful of years later, 3-4 years later, if you look at Titan Quest 1 and if you look at Path of Exile 1, I don't know if it's the same engine, but it looks goddamn similar.
Ixion killer, slayer of Skirion. So, they have begun to name you. How does it sit upon your soul to be a figure?
Well, I think to
the despised?
I will say that THQ's dev team for this, because I don't know the dev. THQ is the publisher. I don't know the name of the developer, so I'm saying THQ.
Careful.
their dev team has listened pretty well and adjusted as people have needed, which is cool. I think that if you kind of look at these three games, because it's what's going to be compared. A lot of times when you do these contracts, they'll say, don't talk about these other games. Because from a marketing perspective, right, you're giving free marketing to those people. But we live in such a different marketing world that the marketing's there. It's already in the mindset of someone who's approaching this game. It's like, if I am a car guy, I know a Ford, a Dodge, GMC. You don't have to not say it. You know, like it's already in my mind. And I think like the comparison point is going to be made between these games. And I think you get better build complexity than a Diablo in Titan Quest 2. And you get a better narrative thread than you do with Path of Exile. So it fits in a place where it's like, hey, I don't want the level of complexity of Path of Exile, but I want a good narrative, which, I mean, if we're thinking the single strength of a Diablo, the single strength of a Path of Exile. Path of Exile single strength is build complexity, that alone. There are tons of other things. We're talking one specific thing. DC's bees, what's up, man? It turns out if people take the constructive criticism from players, it can be beneficial when it fits within the game's parameters. You know, if it is constructive criticism, and that's the problem, is that very few people know how to constructively criticize video games anymore. But the single best thing that Diablo has is a narrative, is its lore, is its spanning legacy of that lore. If we look at Titan Quest 2, I think it takes the best of both of those worlds. It has a really cool narrative. It's fully voice acted. It's really, if you like Greek mythology, it's really well done in that regard. And that's always been Titan Quest's thing, is taking a really cool lore heavy game and putting in a fun build mechanic by saying, hey, you can make any character you want, and you can take 2 trees from any of our trees and put them together and make your own character. It's always been the strength. And that's kind of where Titan Quest sits. It sits directly between Diablo and Path of Exile, and that it pulls the best of both of them together. Is it as complex as Path of Exile? Definitely not. Does it have as deep of a lore as Diablo? It's hard to say no, because, you know, like, it's hard to beat Greek mythology, right? But if we're talking about it, like, yeah, I mean, it's got really great lore. Pro 2 is a better game because of the size that it is. Looks like it could be a coverage from that. I mean, Zypher, yeah, I think I like Diablo 4 more than Path of Exile 2. I did not play Path of Exile 2's most recent patch. I've heard it's amazing. I'm just, at this point, I am not touching Path of Exile until we get to launch. Because I want to play with the sword. I want to play with all the other mechanics. I want to play with the Crusader. I want to try out those things. And I just feel like I'm playing a lot. Oh, okay, cool. So you can just combine it by right-clicking them. I want to play a lot of the stuff that's just has not been kind of accessible. Right, Diablo set the bar back in the day. And then, yeah, that's the nice thing here is so did you see this? Did I talk about this already with you? So this is just one tree, right? You have your actives and you have your passives. And the passives are really where you get to augment a lot of the game, but even the actives have just tons of layering within them without it being a little, think of this as like, if we're looking at it from like a Path of Exile standpoint, right? Think of this as like a major cluster. Cool. Well, all of it's all right here. I don't have to kind of put this shit together. Horny bee season, baby. So, okay, this guy's got a slam now, and I can play around with those abilities, which is also cool. Is like, take a look at this fissure, core dweller's command. Instead, command your core dweller to use fissure. So I can actually make it so that I invest in my summoning capabilities, but now my core dweller is the one that uses that ability. I don't know if any of them also have that. What does Vortex do here? That's pretty cool. Wonder if more of those have this though. Flame Volley looked really cool. You can have like Orbit U and stuff. The build that I made uses Ring of Flame and one of the warfare abilities to just, and then also a whirlwind to just everything around me just is destruction. It's like a tsunami of fire and weapons. But you know, it is pretty intimidating because you look, you're like, oh god, well, I don't use any overload abilities. I don't even know what overload does, so I don't have to worry about this passive. Well, I do need health and armor. Cool. All right, I'm not really worried so much about elemental damage and ailment, so I can skip this. Again, barrier and armor. Oh, okay, well, this is my summon stuff. Well, that's why this is maxed. So, you know, it's like a lot of the complexity is very straightforward in this game versus the complexity being layered very deep, you know?
You're the human who killed Ixion. You've got as far as I see it. You ended his eternal punishment and let him pass into Hades. That sounds like a mercy.
But you'd better not cause any trouble here, human.
Do we want to do a game giveaway right now? How many folks are here for a giveaway? Who wants a giveaway? Who wants to be given away to? Who wants to be given away? If someone that came in a chat last time we were playing cared about spears. Spears are in this game.
Bringing less and less back each month.
The damn brown bearers make us all look bad.
The automaton is so cool looking though, dude. Look at that thing. Can I give it a shield? Is that a thing? X Forge. Oh, so this is all broken into tiers, right? So to get the best passives, you have to invest even more into it. I have to go all the way up. I even still have more to go. But you can see you get divinity points, active points, passive points. You don't have to split these things across this stuff, which is really nice. So I think this thing's gonna be nice. Yeah, increased damage, crit chance, elemental penetration. Okay. Does this have like a shield on it though? Oh, shield attachment. An activation that summons and its allies. Oh, it's just an actual shield, a barrier, a free barrier. So there is another. Absolutely, DC. Happy to help out, man. I'm gonna have one more Gothic 1 video before I kind of shelf the game. I think. I just don't think the game really lends itself to lots of guide content, which in no way makes me panic as my views start to just dwindle into nothing as I become an obscure channel.
When you talk to Centaurus, I would advise against blaming Ixion. Centaurus.
They do have another mastery coming called Spirit Mastery. That is the next update for Titan Quest is on crafting and summons. So that'll be really cool. And then after that, they're doing the Spirit Mastery one. That's all supposed to come before the end of the year.
Some here took Ixion's teaching seriously. Then she must both.
Kind of in early access, I don't like to read I don't want to experience this story as much.
This is the. You've shown great honor. When you're ready.
Chiron was, of course, the teacher of Achilles and someone else of fame. Didn't he teach the Poison King? Chiron taught someone else. He was a centaur that was a tutor to very important people in Greek history.
Tread carefully. Most who stray too far into the miasma, but perhaps that's not such a concern for a demigod. Good luck. Go catch up with Centaurus.
Did anyone see that the Hercules movie with The Rock, where they tried to do like the truth behind the history, behind the myth? And I'm like, no, I don't. Stop trying to do this alternate whatever bullshit. Just give me the actual history. Just give me or the actual myth. Like I think that like Hollywood thinks we want that. Like, oh yeah, let's peel back the curtain. Like, no, No, I live in the real world. I don't need to live in the real world when I go to a movie. Give me the mythology, you know? But that, dude, that's actors for you, man. Like I did. It's my major in college was one of them. One of them was in theater with emphasis in improv, the other, you know, graphic design. And actors are always like, well, let's do Romeo and Juliet. Okay. So there's a term for this. Theme is different than setting in a theatrical sense. And did I not do this over here? I didn't use the Guardian course. Oh, shoot. Did I get the... Okay, I got that. So let's just go over here. We're gonna do Romeo and Juliet. Romeo and Juliet is set in Verona, in Italy, and they're like, well, we're gonna set it in Gibraltar, or not in Gibraltar. It was the Spanish side of Gibraltar. And maybe I'm thinking of Gibraltar. And we're gonna have it during the Reconquista at the very end, and it's gonna be the Moors, quote unquote. You know, that's what they were called back then. And the Spaniards. I'm like, just fucking put it in Verona, man. Like, just stop. Like, yeah. Like, I don't need it relatable. I need to be cosmically afraid of this thing. To be fair, though, that was actually a really fun Romeo and Juliet play that I was in. It was really cool to do that. I learned to use a scimitar, which was funny, which was fun. Holly Evil, thank you so much for subbing up with Twitch Prime. Before that, I had only been experienced with the broadsword and the rapier. And the scimitar, I learned, has much more sweeping swings, where you bring the blade uncomfortably close to your head. There's one more of these guardian things, I think. Right? Exactly. It's like that hit song, Girls Just Want to Have Fun. When I watch a movie, girls just want to have fun, dude. Look at this raging bull. Look at this thing, dude. Rad looking. Again, I haven't found the set items yet, but it is cool to see that this game goes with like more of a grounded look for all the armor pieces. I do hope the set items though are very like classic, crazy, over the top. I haven't played Bond. I heard it's really good though. Didn't they announce that they're doing another Perfect Dark? How do we get there? How do we get into the Cardinal's secret snack chamber right there? Can I click there? That's cool. What is that? How do I go there? That's cool. Ooh, that's kind of nifty. Vic, if you're still watching, I got your email. Thank you, dude. Wonder how you go there. Wonder if you can go there. If you're watching on Twitch, go ahead and say something for me. I want to make sure everything's working. Okay, thanks. Thanks, so. Yeah, it's working. Maybe right here. Probably closer just to do this. Hype train is starting, I guess. Polly did a sub like 10 minutes ago. It's like, the hype train begun. So we're gonna have a little time before Pal World starts. That's gonna be the next big game for the channel. And I think I want to start in on that Diablo 1 to Diablo 4 like stream series. We're not gonna max out characters. We're just playing through the story. And I don't know if I would try to like keep it. I've barely done any of it, DC. I picked it up to see what it was like. I'm like, these got good systems. Can't wait for Uncharted to go to 1.0. But I don't know if it's like, okay, do we do like the, not the canon, but it's like, okay, in Diablo 1, technically the canon, we got all of them then. Find a use for the Guardian Cores. The canon character is the warrior, because the warrior is the eldest son of the king. Who's the king? What's the king's name? The youngest son is who Diablo currently has control of. Shit. Not Arthas. The King of Tristram. Well, not the King of Tristram. Tristram is just the seat of power of the specific region. Okay. That's gotta be up there. How do we get over there? Got it. Well, he's the Bone King. In Diablo 3, you kill the Skeleton King. It's him. King Leoric, thank you. So in Diablo 1, the warrior, the fighter character, is the oldest son of King Leoric, who comes back after hearing that things are amiss. The youngest son is who gets the soul stone. Is who Diablo possesses. Diablo 1 was my first like serious game that I played. Thank you, Abraxas. Or Braxis. What the hell's Witchfire? There's also like some sort of like cozy wizard game. Witch something. Witch brew. Witch stone. Witch house. Between a hero and a hero's destiny, no wall, man-made or otherwise, can stand. Play the crap out of D2 hardcore mode, kept you on your toes, or that was... D2 did not have a hardcore until longer into the game. Like I think it was like its second or third patch they introduced hardcore, but hardcore was part of D2. Yes, I remember seeing like the forced ghosts down there of people that had died, because there wasn't a ladder when D2 came out. There was a ladder shortly after though. D2 came out in 2002, 2001. You know, a lot of the games that we really enjoyed as kids, as millennials, came out in the same year. A lot of games came out in 2001, 2002. A lot of games came out in 97, 98. Like Mario RPG, Chrono Trigger, and Final Fantasy 6 or 3 for the US version, I think all came out in 97. I could be wrong on that, but my point remains that a lot of those games all came out at the same time, and we still found a way to play all of them. Not even when they were launched. It was just, you just didn't have the constant flow like you do now. And take this time really quick to go fill up my water bottle. So give me 1 sec, guys. I'm gonna fill this up. Ah, gray mane. DC's Bees is the gray mane, dude. Gray-haired gamer here. Chrono Trigger was 95. 95 was also 95. There you go. Thank you, Mary. Mario RPG, I think, was 97 or 96 then. Before any test of skill, there is always a phase of preparation. In this instance, it will be gathering the required amount of Guardian cores. Well, I think we've done that. Enter Chiron's training ground.
Greetings, would-be hero. You've done well to unlock this message. You've arrived at a training ground built by Daedalus under the supervision of me, Chiron. Beyond
Mario RPG is still damn
a
good.
gauntlet of rooms, each more difficult than the last. Good luck in your attempts to make it to the end.
My first personal computer was a compact Presario, but we had a house computer that it was a desktop. It was like a flat desktop, you know, the horizontal towers. And I played Warcraft 2 on it. I played Diablo 1. I played Tank Wars. I played Heroes Quest. A ton of educational games. I used to play a lot of educational games. Like Jumpstart first grade, Jumpstart second grade. Remember those games like the Jurassic Park game was great. The Goosebumps game was so good. I to this day, every Halloween, someone plays Goosebumps on. There's a guy, you can just type it in. Goosebumps gameplay. Every Halloween, after I go out or whatever I'm doing, I always go to sleep watching someone play that game. No commentary. It's like a 45-minute video. It's not that long of a game. Green screen monitors. Holy crap. Super Ghouls and Ghosts was so rough. And then Super Ghouls and Ghosts, same company, which I think was owned by, it's a Capcom title, made Demon Crest, which was so good, which was kind of a Super Metroid clone before the term Metroidvania existed. Okay, can't use any of these actually. Cool looking. Ghouls and Ghosts was rough. Demon Crest though was really good, where you start off as like a demon, just a little red guy, and you can fly around and do things. But it was like Super Metroid, but it was also like Mega Man X. So as you killed the other demons, you got their abilities and you could morph into them by imbuing them. You'd use their crest. It was such a good game. Mega Man X was really good too, man. You start off as a blue Mega Man, you become the white and blue Mega Man. It was really awesome. Did you play the last Smoky Fantastico? Did you play the last Cache? Did you play that Borderlands? Oh, BF4? Battlefield? Borderlands. I mean Borderlands, right? Same ball puncher. Yeah, but did you play Cache, the new one that came out at the beginning of this year? Cache's cool? Fine. Dude, see, 97 was Symphony of the Night. I thought Symphony of the Night was 99. You know, I've actually still never played Symphony of the Night. It might be cool if I swap my streaming days to retro games, only retro games, and we play from them from start to end. That way, it's like I'm never under like a, well, this game's kind of out. We got to switch to this game. It could be kind of cool. But with that being said, it is very nice to be able to play games that I'm also covering, because then I can press shadow play and I'm capturing footage right now. Actually. Fireside Eve was great. New Ocarina of Time, you guys saw that? Is that for Switch 2 or just what is it? Dude, I just rewatched the movie Hacker with my friend. Angelina Jolie's like first movie. The main character in that movie, who also goes on to then make Plunkett and McClane with Robert Carlyle. No, not Chris O'Donnell. Chris O'Donnell is Robin from Batman Forever and Batman and Robin. Final Fantasy VII was in 97. Yep. Bojangles! Bojangles is here, guys. You know what that means? Hold on, let's do it again. Bojangles is here. You guys know what that means? There you go, Bo. Holy rusted metal. I think it goes, holy rusted metal, Batman. What do you mean? He goes, it's rusted metal, literally. Well, it's kind of like that just becomes my. I mean, it's a super niche thing, but personally, I go to sleep watching a lot of like retro game reviews, so I know that there's a thing for it. You know, people enjoy it, and it could be cool to just, yeah, people don't really watch my streams as much, but maybe they watch the VODs. No, you're fine, DC. Don't worry about it, dude. I think. one of the things that makes my streams particularly fun to watch after the fact is that I'm not like a very... All right, guys, thank you. We're checking in here today. Big Money 54. So we're gonna be going through some Call of Duty, and today I'm gonna be climbing the competitive bracket and just like hooting and hollering the whole time. It's pretty laid back streams. People have told me they watch my content sometimes to go to sleep, which I always find this as a compliment. Piggyback ride. That's the most Bojangles thing ever. Everybody in chat say hi to Bojangles over on the YouTube side. He's in my Ultima Online's Outlands guild. By God, he is just a national treasure. Yeah, no, man. You've got enough politics and everything else in the world right now, right? Like, I don't need that in my games. I need to sit here while I'm playing my escapism and talk about politics as someone who is just not versed in politics. Like, I understand civics. I could talk to you about the history of those things, but that's just not me, dude. And there are people that love that, and they, like you said, they exist. You can go do it by all means. And I won't even talk about the politics of games. Like, I won't even get into... I'm dying. Oh, break free. Can't do it. Oh no. Come on, come on, come on. Need him. Bring him to me. Yeah, he's out, he's out. Oh, barrier. Oh, that was so close. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Recovered. Oh, recovered. Oh no, oh no. Barrier up. Oh yeah, we did it. Yeah, I'm gonna be getting into a little bit more Baldur's Gate again. I was thinking of making some modded class builds. I think so. Like, you stay away from politics in games. Those gamers have their place with all the garbage companies that are trying to feed us as gamers. Yeah, you know. I'm not talking shit about Co Carnage, because Co Carnage is a lovely human being. But what Co does is, and this is a genius idea, and I wish I could do it because I don't know how he does it. I can ask him. I'm in a cool Discord with him. He takes sound bites from his streams of him saying things and uploads them as shorts. Like, people ask a question and then he has that as a clip and uploads it. And I'm like, damn it, man. Like, it's such a sound bite, and it's so encapsulated. It makes him sound authoritative when he is just not like that. He's not like a this type of person, you know what I mean? Like, he's such a like measured dude. And I'm like, I need to start doing that. That's what makes it can make a lot of people blow up. And it's what made what's his name, Thor, blow up. Is just, hey, here's authoritative hot takes, basically. Which, you know, sometimes you can make the wrong person famous. And Pirate Software, yeah. No. I don't think you made any. You didn't make anything uncomfortable, Thors. You're good, brother. If you do a BG3 fun run, I'm down to do a campaign with you. Yeah, I would do it, Bo, but it's really hard to. I mean, we're adults, you and me. You got kids. You've got a wife. I have a dog. You know, like. How often are we playing Ultima Online? I'm like, all right, guys, I gotta go take my dog out, and I disappear for an hour and a half, and I only meant to leave for like 30 minutes because people talk to me when I'm with my dog, or your dog's so well trained, blah 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 blah, and I get off into a tangent with them because I like talking to people. So then you know the start time for us playing together now becomes an hour later, or hey, I know we always play on Fridays, but I gotta go take my kids to do some stuff. That's hard with just 2 people. Imagine doing, oh, it locks the doors behind you, I see. Imagine doing that with 4, because you can have a party of 4. And that's what makes BG3 as a co-op game really difficult. I think if like, Bo, if you and I were married, Bo, you want to do it? Huh? You, me? Tax bennies? It'd be easy, right? Because we live in the same house. I don't know why. I could have just said we're roommates, but I chose marriage. And it's easy. ... It's easy for us to go, hey, you know what, tonight let's play. Okay, cool. Sit down and we play. It's easy to kind of spur the moment it. My friend did one with his brother, and he's like, dude, this was miserable. His brother and his 2 friends. He's like, the timing was always wonky. I'm empowering my guy so he heals back up. Oh. Oh no! Barrier. Oh! Dude, I am overwhelmed, Anakin. Consider it, dude. Consider it. Yeah, I went through a stint of having real bad roommates, partner. It's really cool. It's really, I like the gameplay loop of this. I'm dropping this force field, and then we use our traps around because everything in that is taking more damage. Barrier. So it's definitely a very active, like, game, right? This is not very... I would say like a lot of like, I would say Diablo is very passive, you know? Oh no, come on. Get it going, get it going. Barrier up. Good, got one of those elites down. Yeah, I didn't know you were married before. Or did I? All right, Donnie, thanks for jumping in, man. PS5 yet? No, they have no official release date yet. Yeah, Roger. I don't quote me. This is a sponsored stream. Don't quote me, but I think it's this year. I don't know for certain though. I think I asked. I think because I work with Vic with Gothic, and I was like, Vic, you know, you're with THQ. I really want to hit Titan Quest as a main installment. Are there any contracts? And he was like, well, June. I was like, is that the launch? He's like, no. Fuck. I guess this is not technically a sponsored stream. Essence of Archimedes' mirror. All right. In chat, we got 34 people watching. Not a huge stream here today. We're just having some fun with folk. In chat, I want you to say whether you are single or in a relationship and say for how long. Like, oh, single, 8 years. Married, 20 years. Oh, dude, this is nice. Thornwall, pierce, poison, bleeding, pierce and poison retaliation. Then summons have 17% all resistance, 29% increased retaliation damage, and 14% less damage from beasts. And it will have a custom graphic on that. Thick. Married for 5+ years. Together for 8 years. Single for, I think, 6-ish years. I got divorced 12 years ago and had one girlfriend since. Okay. I don't agree with necessarily happy wife, happy life. I think it's a partnership, right? Married going on 18 years, 18 years. But how long were you guys together, Bo? How long were you guys? I think I asked you this in New Orleans and you told me the answer. Layered Nerite Shell of the Warrior. +1 capacity to warfare, tier 4 active skills. That's pretty sick. That's really sick. So, what this means is, let's assume I had warfare. Let's just jump over to the skills thing. This is +1 capacity. So, these are your capacities. It adds another capacity to it. That's really, really cool. What does this look like? Ooh, look at that damn thing, dude. Woolen enchanted pauldrons of shooting. Damn. If this didn't have 24% increased summons damage, I would go with this. It gives me 44 energy reserve. So, okay, so let's take a look. I'll show you how this works. I don't think... Okay, cool. So 17 and 17, I've maxed out... Oh, okay. I've maxed out the capacity. So I'm going to put this amulet on. Now I get one more capacity. That's pretty cool, man. I didn't know that was a system in this. No, I think you spent it right. Area damage, fire resistance, cooldown rates. Energy barrier and pierce armor. Increased all speed. Okay. Way better armor. Let's do this. So and then we do shift right click to unsock it and put that into here, which is cool. What is this? This is about relic complete. So this is what you do here, right? Like you've got this plumage. Is my head in the way? Yeah, it's subtly in the way. Did they change the UI? I think a little bit. I don't remember being exactly like this, Gabriel. So you take, okay, pristine plumage is incomplete, 1 of 3. Plus you had agility, 5% increased movement skill cooldown rate, and then its completion bonus is +5 armor per level. So at level 3, it says +5 armor per level, and it says 24 agility now and 15% increased movement speed. So you basically stack these charms together to complete them to get better benefits out of them. Oh, those are charms. This is a relic. So cool system. So whenever you get hit, you have a 15% chance to deal 100% retaliation damage to the attacker. I can go right into here. Charms, relics can't be. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Can I put it into something else though? To a talisman. Oh, talisman's. I'm thinking of talisman's another shield socket or shield slot. I've always been okay. Let's see. One said, I have a girlfriend for about a year now, but been single most of my life, and I'm in my mid-50s. Okay. Relationship should be 100%. Sometimes you put in 80% while you're partner, and you can do only can do 20. Sometimes you can only do 20. Others you're in it 50-50. the effort I make into making my wife happy is returned to me several times over. To me, that's the true meaning of a happy wife, happy life. I can agree with that, Angso. Looking cool without the fight. Always been raised and in turn believe each person in the relationship puts the other person first, so to speak. And then that way the person was putting on her. You know, DC, I was too. But in practice, every single one of my girlfriends had not done that. I was always like, compromise and sacrifice. This is what we do. And, you know, it's like compromise and sacrifice has to come with equal consideration, with reciprocity. And when it doesn't, one person ends up getting emotionally bankrupt. And the other person keeps going, why can't you give me more? Mr. Spartacus, I have a question since you're Italian. Thanks, Bo. When cooking pasta, does the water have to be boiling, or can it has to be boiling? It has to be a rolling boil. And you always salt your water beforehand. Growing up, we put just a dash of oil in so the pasta doesn't stick. You don't really need to do that as long as you put the pasta in and you immediately stir it. And if you're using a smaller pot and you're using spaghetti, just put it in and it'll eventually fold into that small pot. Do not break the fucking noodles. Don't do it. Sacrilegious. Yeah, I've heard butter too is a way to do. Never done butter though. You should always cook your pasta. So if it says al dente at 8 minutes, cook it 7 minutes. Take a cup, like a measuring cup, and pull it out of the water. Pull a cup's worth of pasta water out and keep it to the side. Drain the pasta, and then put the pasta into the sauce you're cooking with it, and then add bits of the water to cook the pasta to completion in the sauce. It'll pull the sauce into the pasta, and you use the starchy water to thicken up the sauce. Like, honestly, whenever I'm cooking, because I'm always on some sort of stupid cut diet, because I fucking hate my life, I just only use pasta water for my sauce. Pasta water and olive oil. And it makes it thick. That was wrong because I simmered the noodles. I guess she was right. Yeah. The blood demons are not red. Is that kind of question, Bo? Hooves of history. Where's this? Feel like a Greek god. Smokey's just trying to gas me up right now. Find the centaur. I don't want to get another active skill going. I'm enjoying Forge though. Let's maybe get chains going. We're not doing much with our just primary attack. And chains, throw chains in directed, deals just damage and pulls enemies towards. I don't necessarily want that. Metal welding reaches stages over as you channel, gain increased base damage per stage after the channeling ends. First weapon attack after your channeling ends. Okay, we're not really doing that. Talk about activate. Forge, sustained, buff aura. This could be fun. All right, love you, bye. I'm here to raise spirits. Oh, your armor explodes, dealing 135 to 221 strike damage and 3-meter radius. You shoot your armor as metal shards in all direction, dealing 40 to 84 pierce damage each. Skill damage scales with armor. So either we'll do that. Love you too. Or there's an earthquake around you. Fire projectiles from above your head to target location. Target enemy is ignited for 4 seconds, and enemies take 131 fire damage. Rolling magma is cool. You shoot a large ball of magma that explodes. So what ability do you guys want to see? What looks cool? Do you want roiling magma to shoot a ball of magma at people? Fissure is you shoot lines, like a line of, like the ground splits open. Flame volley I've not played around with, but fire projectile from above your head to target location where they explode. Earthquake is a blow up around you. Ignite, I just ignite something. Or forge, I blow up my own armor around me, in an AoE around me. Skill damage scales with armor, and we do have lots of armor scaling currently. Physical damage, this is summons, get armor. Summons, oh damn, dude, this is really juicy. You gain divine cores. Increased armor here. Increased armor here. Another one of these increases my armor. I don't think I have it. Yeah, this one increases my armor. You too, DC. Have a good one, brother. Reduce, reuse, recycle. Yeah, that's so good. So what interests you guys? Do you want to see another earth ability for more fire stuff, or another forge ability? We can blow our own armor up. I think that one's kind of cool here. The chains is cool, but we're not really a melee build. Like, I'm not like focusing a lot of my melee capabilities. Flame volley sounds cool. Rolling magma sounds cool. So what sounds interesting? What piques the interest of the bros? You know what? No one's saying anything, so I might go with armor eruption. Oh, I do kind of see how roiling magma looks. Might be kind of tricky to target it. Yeah, we'll go with this. This way I can kind of hang out inside the force field and blow my shoot up. So we do that, and we'll do also. This is maxed. My cores. Oh, that's nice. This doesn't cost divine cores, does it? No cost. Perfect. So what you do is you kind of try to like find an overlap here. Okay, so this is a projectile skill. So we go to a passive. One of these is it. There's something that makes it so I can do more. What I'm gonna do is take this out and put 2 into this, because that more armor means that higher energy reserve though. Well, we'll figure it out. One of these has got projectiles on it, and I don't know where it is. Maybe I'm thinking of Warfare. Warfare, I think, has the projectile stuff. But basically, you can enhance projectile. That's what I was trying to get at. Really crushing the scene over here. 175. So this should be right here, right? Put that as our main. See how that works. I put a point to this. It says 175 to 305. Okay, so 3 damage each. How's that look? Oh. Oh, that's cool looking. Let's go to X. Let's go to Forge. Vulnerable on hit, which is nice. Well, how the vulnerable work in this game? Take 20% increased damage from all sources. That's nice. I like that. Damage consumes elemental infusion. I don't think we're in that. The projectiles return to you after reaching max range, dealing 30% damage. Okay. Kind of like this to start. When you hit an enemy with another active skill, reduce... Ooh. Is this considered an active skill? So they're vulnerable on hit or that. Let's try the cooldown refresh. I want to see how it works. So far, so cool. What do you guys think of it?
Don't trust those priestesses.
Okay.
Yet.
Killed him too fast. Oh, shit. That was a device. Damn. Trying to see if this thing gets its cooldown recovered by each hit of these. No, it's just what we're gonna do. Come back and put the 2 points into here. We just got. We'll move this, put that in. Bigger area, and we'll put oh dude, so someone's have a 60% increased health. I'm wearing a shield. Attributes. I kind of want just some more vigor. I feel like I'm a little low on health. That's a big aura. Dang. That's vulnerable. Okay. Oh, that's putting it back.
No room for that. It's not possible.
More herbs tried before the end.
Got any interesting...
Have you had today's tincture?
Ugh, it tastes terrible.
Diagoras said you should drink it every day.
There's a lot of stuff going for it. Feel I'm wrong. Uh-oh. I don't know if there's like a dye mechanic in this game. Like, oh, dye what I'm wearing. Man, that crazy shield, right? Damn. Oh crap. Okay. So this doesn't just scale off just armor.
Got any interesting...
Thanks for showing playing it. Hopefully it'll catch next play. Gotta go. All right, Roger. Thanks for jumping in, my dude. Did you guys ever play the game Sacrifice? It was one of the best games no one's heard of. That could be a cool series too, like the top 20 games, top 20 best games you've never heard of. And it was really cool. Like you played like a summoner, and like that was your title, and you would choose a patron god. I can't remember the names of all of them, but like Abraxas, Charnel, basically fire, death, air, earth, typical kind of elemental stuff. And that would determine the creatures you would summon and also the magic you had access to. And you would play against the AI, that was the campaign, but you'd queue up against people and you could play, It was always pretty much free for all. Or you could do like 2v2. And you'd have to gather souls, and you'd have a max amount of souls on a map that would then dictate basically how many spells you could cast and how many things you could summon. And if you're fighting against someone, the trick was you had to try to convert their souls. So if an enemy died, a red soul would pop up, and you had to summon a conversion guy who'd come out with like a big syringe, stab it into the corpse, and try and pull it out, and then take that corpse or that soul and run it back to your monolith and convert it. So there was a process. So you could get in a team fight, lose the team fight, they'd convert your souls, and you had to just basically do like a kamikaze run, try to get your souls back. Because you just had to pretty much interrupt the ritual and the souls would release. You could instantly grab them. It was so fun, man. It was really hard. PvP in it was great. Like my friend and I would play against each other all the time. And like the spells would be like map changing spells. Like Earth would summon this big saw blade that would go in like a spiral out and then have the world drop out. Like, and once it happened, it would be gone. Like that portion of the map would be gone. Oh yeah, dude, this is bueno. Lupine Claw, what is that? Ooh. Oh. No. So it is. What is causing this? Maybe it's just the attack speed and and attack damage is on here. Well, this has attack damage too. Oh, what a BPP! Mary, that's kind of been this is like kind of like an iconic thing about this series is any of the unique items, like the epic items or the set items, they have really cool looking themes. Satros! I love it, man. I love it. Like we were talking about this earlier. Like, this has always been like one of my favorite ARPGs, and they've done a lot of really good things. A lot of the two new masteries, Forge and Earth, are really nice. Yeah, when it first came out, it was very like it was thin, right? It just had chapter 1. I think it only had 4 masteries. So now we're up to 6. Or are we up to 5? Rogue, Storm, Earth, Fire. I'm sorry. Rogue, Storm, Forge, Earth. Rogue, Storm, Earth, Warfare, Forge. Yeah, we're up to 5. We're gonna get our 6th one in Spirit Mastery in a little bit. No, I did not, Kira. I did not. I have to look at it. I gotta look at it. But they just added their biggest chapter yet. So this is I mean, it's not technically a sponsored stream. I guess I wasn't so required to do it for the contract, but I did it nonetheless. Make sure you go and check out the game linked in the description below if you're watching on YouTube, or in the top if you're watching on Twitch. Spirit Mastery would be really cool because you get to summon like the spirits of fallen soldiers. So it's definitely a pet class, but they have a big summon overhaul coming in the next, a summon and crafting overhaul coming in the next patch, and I'm really curious what that's going to be. And that's supposed to come out like in the next month and a half or so, because they said Spirit comes before the end of the year. I don't know how many total chapters they're planning, but these boar men are new monsters they added in. Well, we were talking about that earlier. Because, you know, Path of Exile does exist and Diablo exists. But Titan Quest, I feel, fits in a world between both of them. Like, if you want really fun, crunchy narrative because it's Greek mythology, you get it here. If you want better build complexity, you're not going to get Path of Exile build complexity for sure here, but they increased the complexity quite a bit. I don't remember there being this many passives. And now, like, the penultimate is just actives. The ultimate is more passives. And they've done a good job of layering these passives together to really increase things. So for example, here, like, I'm using this ability, and this ability scales off of armor. Well, this increases my armor. This increases my armor. This increases my armor. So these things invariably then increase the damage of that ability. And you've played this, Asatro, so you saw all the modifiers. The modifiers, I think, got a pass. And they're really cool, man. Like, okay, like I've got my core dweller here. Well, I can make it so that my fissure ability, whenever I use it, it actually commands my core dweller to use it instead. So the core dweller will summon it out. So tons of really nice complexity without it being too wild. I think it is a good spot for someone who wants Diablo narrative and Path of Exile complexity. It sits in between, I think, very well. Whether that means it gets drowned by both is... Well, no, I don't agree with that, Satros. You have the end-all be-all of complex. Because it's not as complex does not mean it is not complex. I think it's straightforward, but there is complexity in setting all those passives up, because the passives are like kind of like the true vehicle for damage, right? As is true of any RPG. I just think, like, man, watching that, I haven't played the newest patch. It might be amazing, but I don't know, man. Path of Exile is just so much. Hey, did you want a talent tree for this system? We have a talent tree for this system. There's also a talent tree for that system. I'm like, dude, just let me just press buttons and kill shit. Like, what is this riddle? Yeah, you're right. It's not big, but it's distilled, it's watered down. I think that's a problem with an in-game build planner like that. Is that, oh shit, it just destroyed my guy. There's a riddle here and I don't know what it is.
Can't do that.
I think what it results in is that everyone just uses like the same like 5 builds. So it just kind of comes down to, oh, here it is. Bring the living beneath my statue shadow. Their sacrifice becomes your reward. Okay. Well, I don't think I can be able to do that because my pets just keep killing things. Can't really do it though if I don't have anything to kill. Come this way. No, they leashed.
I need to wait.
Well. So you advocated for something you've not tried, huh, Satros? Wow. Wow. To be fair, I advocated against something I have not tried, so. Of course. So it sounds like it was more accessible than it's ever been. I don't care. Like, I'm definitely excited for the launch of the game. Don't get me wrong. I just think that it's like, it's just not a game I really want to. How did pushing through the campaign feel this time around, Kier? Did they kind of streamline that a little bit more? That's so different. That's a false comparison, Satros, and you know it. And you know it. I can't believe you said that. That's good. That's good. I want to make a rogue. So rogue storm build is called a storm blade because I think the lightning magic in this game looks really cool. But rogue and lightning magic also allows you to blink around, which is cool. But so does the rogue. So I want to be able to like blink into stuff and just destroy. Yeah, 1.0 is going to be amazing. Don't get me wrong. I'm not crapping on it. I'm just saying that Relic Center, thanks for following. I'm just saying that like overall it is such a heavy system that I have to just want to be in that mood. And you know, like, dude, if someone goes, hey, I'm going to play the Diablo season, I'm like, cool, all right, I can do that with you. No big deal, you're right. There's just such a minimal amount of mental investment in a Diablo everything. And, you know, I just don't understand. There's such a tribalism of this. Path of Exile is just so much better than Diablo. Like, no, man. They both exist and scratch very different itches. And that's okay. I just, it's such a, so I post that Mistfall Hunter video. I really hate that people have this like homogenized way of speaking. One comment said something like, this game looks mid AF, just a bunch of slop. It's like a mobile game. I'm like, you just used 3 of the most buzzwords ever. That makes me just think you're a bot. You know, like no one wants this mid AF type of mobile game experience. I'm like, dude, stop. Just stop. Like, just don't like the game. That's fine. But don't like it because you used the buzzword of someone, you know? Yeah, and that's another thing, is that that's what that game caters to, is the sweat. And that's fine. I don't care. I don't make content for the sweat. And I think if you are a sweat and you watch my content, you go, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. I'm like, no, I just know enough to be dangerous. I know enough that makes things work. I don't know enough to push. My Paladin Zillidan build, I think, I don't remember the highest rift I got to. I think it was 90. For some people, that's just not enough. They're like, this is terrible if it's not doing 8.5 billion crit. Like, okay, well, that's you. The majority of gamers don't fall into that bracket. See, that's my new tagline here. I don't know everything, just enough to have fun. I'm gonna start saying that in all my build videos. Remember, this build video, like this, use this as a guide to make your own. I don't know everything, I know just enough to have fun. That's really good. I like that here. Can you copy and paste this? That's me. I'll give you royalties on it. That's it, right? Like every time like you watch those dev breakdowns of Path of Exile, which is good, is that the developers clearly play their game, and that's really fun because they play their game and they know their game, and that's really fucking cool. But when you watch that stuff, if you don't really understand it at that level, it's really hard to kind of get behind, because they're like, yeah, you know, a lot of people were talking about this, so we added it, and if you don't play at that level, you're like, what? Yeah, 100%, man. 100%. They love that game, and that's great. And I just think though that anyone watching it is just, I think it gets really overwhelming. Okay, so this has got increased spell damage and fire damage like that. Energy barrier. Lose 2% health, that's fine. I want the damage on this other one. And to unsocket this, shift right click and just put it right in. Something's causing big damage increase with this sword. I don't know what it is. It might be the strike damage. Does it say strike? Yeah, it's strike damage. That's it. Yeah, see, this is a good example. The way you two are just not arguing, but the way you two are talking about this one content creator who makes builds. Like, some people just don't like the way some people build, and that's just the way it is. Oh, this is way better. There. Hey, you two, I don't want you to actually argue. Pretty. We burn in a secret flame for a chance to reward or pain. Ooh. The way you said that though, Kier. Live from Germany, this stream is going off right now. See, I don't know who this guy is. Maybe I do. I probably watched it. Approaching the statue fills your mind with a vision of deep woods. Just as quickly it changes to an image of a desert fortress. A choice? Ooh, deep woods. I knew it. I fucking knew it. Ancient palace as a fortress. Oh shit. Over here breaking down statues. I mean, Asatros, I'm not gonna lie to you, so do I, dude. spawning until I find the last one. Well, I understand where Asus is coming from, right? Like, don't in the moment shoot me down. Well, was he dismissing you, Asatos, or was he saying it wasn't a good idea? Like, was he just completely glazing over it? Or did he acknowledge what you said and move away from it? I'm like, yeah, I'm not American though. I like my German neighbors. Ooh. Baby. Like that. Yeah, you see that? I don't really vibe with that. I can agree with that. Like, there's one thing to like go, oh, I'll try that out after stream. Another thing to go, I don't like that, man. Sorry, that's just not gonna work for me. Then that's what you do the next stream without acknowledging it. Like, if he had said the next stream, actually, I gave that a shot. It was a good idea. So, I mean, there's a credence to that. I agree. What the hell is this other wolf statues? Clearly, there's 4. Oh, do I have to like grab it? Maybe it's bugged. There's no sparkly. I killed all 3 of them. I don't know. Oftentimes I think I make builds that I just want to use. I think I'm supposed to grab this with bug. Is there a block on the screen? What's the block? Can you see that green block in the upper right hand corner? Yeah, there must be a bug right here. And unfortunately, I don't think I can get out of it. Oh, fuck. This little thing, dude. What is that block that makes you see what's not happening? What do you mean? A block that makes you see what's not happening? You use a skill. Oh, this. It's a force field, so anything within it takes more damage, especially from my devices. Yeah, there's some sort of bug here. My devices are these little traps. It's right here. This thing is summoning up shit. I don't know how to end it. I'm gonna let myself die. See this fix of it. I die. Can it happen? I'm regenerating so fast. My things are tanking so well. Maybe I can't die here. Maybe I'm like triple bug. Yeah, that definitely went to zero. That definitely went to zero. There's no way I did. Open a portal. Okay, great. Yeah, there's something wrong because it's like I should be. That should be the thing I need to get. Going around to the end of the stream too, anyway.
A steadfast supporter.
But you know, for some reason, Asatos, my stuff's not working. But it's why Twitch is because Twitch has a culture of subs, and those subs earn me quite a bit of money every month, and that goes directly towards my rent, and it's really helpful. To end our stream, I'd say we take a look at this character. I kind of want to use it for the video instead. I should have made another one of these. I was gonna say let's end the stream by talking about the abilities. Like build out a build real quick. Devastator's been a lot of fun though. I like the Devastator a lot. Damn, really? You know what, I'll show you the battle mage I built out, and it's nowhere near as impressive as this character. And it's kind of this is like herein lies the rub type of thing, where it's really easy to go really wide in this game, but that doesn't necessarily reward you with anything. So everything within that cube does less damage, moves slower, and then takes a lot more damage. Up to 70% by my devices. And my automaton here is a device. Oh, 41 or 42. I like that area. We'll go enhanced damage. plus 20 fitness. Oh, 2 more passive points. Let's go finish this off. Boop, boop. I'm not doing overload. Let's do fire retaliation. That sounds fun. And another point here. So that, putting those points into that gave us more armor, which means this ability does more damage. What the hell is doing all this? I cannot wait. Ooh. I want the speed. Because of the minions and because of my aura, I have an earth enchantment up. And you can reduce that mana reserve through passives, through items, like my helmet I think has it on it. Yeah, plus 38 energy reserve. So that helps out. This one's plus 33 energy reservation. What is this? And there's different armor distinctions in like, this is ornate, there's light, there's medium, there's heavy. Ugh, I don't know if I would need the attack speed. Is there a way to check the damage that they do? Base weapon damage 232. Strike. 50% more activation speed while empowered. Attack stealing 100% is weapon damage. I don't know if there's a DPS on that. To see what's helping more, if it's raw summons damage or raw summon speed. But there's lots of like, okay, this is an aura. There's another aura over here, I think. No. Earth has got... This isn't really an aura, but you can kind of make it an aura. It won't... What I'm saying is it won't reserve. It'll reserve if you do this, permanency. Then it creates a reserve. So... But yeah, like Warfare's got a bunch of them too. Every single class has got, every single mastery has a aura of some sort. Like Rogues does poison damage. Storm does both cold and lightning. Earth does earth and I might touch that fire. Warfare has a defense one and an offensive one. Ew.
Human.
Yeah, there's like I was saying, Spirit Mastery's coming. And that seems to be just summon up a bunch of like spiritual warriors.
Stronger than I thought. Need to about Ixion.
But Forge gets that automaton.
Oh, yes.
Storm gets a Nimbus.
Him, but he
John Titan Quest is here.
wants to save his
Asus,
uncle
what's up, man?
Chiron from eternal punishment before seeking revenge. Centaurus thinks that his eternal punishment, the Nemesis, punished him. Seek the heart of the poison. You won't.
Okay. We found here, this is a good point for me to stop and show something else here. So the build that I was, because I got early access yesterday, so not a bunch of early access, but they gave me the ability to do a bunch of quick starts. So that's why I've got a bunch of characters that are pretty much at the beginning that starts that act. That act is what came in with this patch. So I made this character, and I spent a long time making it because I just had to read through everything. But it kind of not great. I have to tweak it more, because this is an example is I went very wide. I have all these activatables down here because I had this really cool idea to make this character out. And in the previous build you saw, I really only had like 3 skills at active, and I had majority of passives maxed out. This one, like, okay, this is not maxed, this is not maxed, this is not maxed. Because what we do with this build, I press this pumps up and it makes increasing my run speed. Well, then I hold this and I have a whirlwind. So those two in conjunction. But then I press this button. This gives me a buff too for this and this. So I just do that, and it'll drop that sword eventually. As it gets closer and closer, the sword drops and just does a bunch of damage. But that was like the concept for this build. Where do I go? Where do I go, wing? And because I'm using earth magic, this is all imbued. So here's my sustained abilities, right? So this is imbued with fire damage, and it helps to fix the fire affliction, which is burn. Core Dweller, though, is just there to do stuff for me. And then I've got this, which is someone's, look at that fissure. So it's like, okay, if things come up close and personal, I have like ways to, and that'll just keep burning and doing damage to that. Yeah, also a part of this game, Satros, if you do not know, is the barrier button. Every character gets a barrier. So, oh no, this boss about to do a big attack. Press that, and it's going to mitigate most of the damage. How fucking dare you bring? Don't you dare bring buzzwords into here, Kier. Walking simulator mobile game. But I knew what you meant. So, if it just doesn't really do much damage. It just looks like it does. And this game has the ability. How dare you, Angso? I also put a lot of points into that, which is probably not worth it. Options, character, rare. It's their base form of a loot filter. It says a better loot filter is coming, but this is kind of, it will just shut off these things in the meantime. Oh, Market Croquette, what's up, man? I really wonder how this works. So what you can do too is, which I really like, I invested points all over the place. This whole thing is trash. So if I take a look at this, you can do ramp up. Over 3 seconds while channeling, damage increases by 20%. So as I continue to use it, it gets more and more and more damage, which is a really cool cascading effect. And after I stop, it will keep doing it, but for 50% less. But you can do that with a lot of other stuff too. I can focus on like Fury, stuff like that. What is this though? This has like a powering flame. You just get into apply. Like I kind of just chose some fun things here. It seemed kind of fun, but I think I've just, like I said, spread myself too thin. So it's like the character doesn't really have tons of staying power.
So, we need to meet Thespius at the Sanctuary of the Sophia. We need trouble news. He's expecting us to arrive with the Ixion.
Yeah, this is very easily. Just press this, respec mode, and I can refund all if I want. And I've got, this character's got 3 mil gold to do it, so it's very easy. You cannot respec your mastery though. Mastery is permanent. We do this, we do this. So it's like, okay, this rock wizard just, yeah, killed me, you know? That's when I was like, this build needs to go back to the drawing board. Like, I just think I've got too many things going. And I could pull everything out and just make Whirlwind really good and then augment Whirlwind and buff Whirlwind and do stuff with that. Because it's just, I don't have any staying power. I didn't invest any into armor. Like, this fissure is really good. Your experience. Yeah, this is definitely, I mean, it's early access, right? And if you have it, it's definitely worth coming back to see what they've improved, to try. Like, it doesn't even need to be a big investment. I think it's definitely worth putting a weekend's worth of time into, like a Saturday or a Sunday, and go, oh cool, I like the improvements, you know? I just never really think it's worth putting that much time into an action RPG's early access, because it's not the same as like a survival game's early access. Like a survival game's early access is, hey, we've added a new biome, we've done a whole set of additional stuff. There's usually a lot to get lost in because of the gameplay loop of those games. A game like this is like, the content is the gameplay, versus the gameplay is the content in a survival game. But they did a good job with bringing Earth in and making it really cool and really fun. Remember that time I did not do the giveaway again? Gosh, I'm terrible at these things, man. But I think that will conclude our stream here for the day. A good little 3-hour jump in to have some fun. Any questions that you guys might have about the game, just go ahead and let me know right now before we conclude our stream. You can check out a link to Titan Quest in the pin, the top of the Twitch chat, or in the description if you're watching over here on YouTube. I am doing a sponsored video for them too, so it'll probably be me talking about the game, what its current state is, my thoughts about it, and I guess like to kind of hit that right now. The good, I think the game's build complexity is very fun. It's not to the craziest degree where you need like an abacus and a compass to get your way through the build complexity, but it's not a snooze fest where you just kind of click a couple things and go, cool, this will do. You can definitely brick your build, but it's very easy to unbrick your build with respec mode, and there's no combination that's particularly bad. Let me switch my menu. Like, even if you went warfare and rogue, they can really play well together. You could play like a brawler rogue style character if you wanted. If you went storm and earth, you're an elementalist. If you went forge and rogue, I have no idea how it works, but it's probably pretty goddamn cool. Because the nature of this game, there's no necessarily very weak combo, because you're choosing 2 masteries, and you'll be able to pull either really good actives or really good passives from one or the other masteries to complement the direction that you take. And that's what I think makes this game so strong and unique. It's because this is the DNA of the Titan Quest 1 into Grim Dawn into this, right? So you get that. But there's not a lot of complexity just yet. We have a 6th mastery that's coming. I'm sorry, not complexity, variety. So, I mean, technically, if you want to think about this, right? The permutations that you can do here, because it's mutually exclusive, is what? It's not 5 times 5. It's not 25. It's 5 cosine 4, whatever. There's a fucking equation that lets you say, oh, all those permutations are this. Because Warfare and Forge are the same as Forge and Warfare. No, it's not 525. Because you can be Warfare Forge, Warfare Rogue, Warfare Storm, Warfare Earth. Storm Warfare is the same thing. Isn't it 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1? Isn't that the equation? When they're mutually exclusive? Or they're exclusive, sorry. That's it, yeah. See? I knew math. 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1 is 120 combinations right now. Which doesn't, that feels not right. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. It's plus, that's right, not multiply. I'm like, that doesn't sound right. So 5 plus 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1. So 15 combinations. That feels right. I'm like, 120? What? So 100, there's however many, there's 640 combinations you can do. But it makes it so that nothing is too completely dead, which is nice. It's also like, I think it's going to be fun to make a build like this, because I want to take Shadow Strike, have it do Shadow Dagger. No, I'm sorry. Lethal Strike. Shadow Strike. Teleport to a target before the attack. You do this. I want, like, this has got poison, and then take Storm and bring in Cold and Lightning and have it just be like this, and use Blink. Instantly teleport to target location. While this ability is on cooldown, you can reactivate it once to teleport back to the start. So use a lot of mobility and jumping around and boo, and have a lot of fun doing all that. Like thunderstorm enemies in a 3-meter radius around the target location have a 60 chance to be hit by lightning strikes. So you just kind of, or thunder crash here. Instead, briefly disappear into the sky and crash down on the target location, dealing 200 strike damage. So you can see how combining this stuff is really cool, right? Cold explosion, cosmic explosions at your start and end. So you get to have a lot of fun with these builds, layering in, like this is a wisp, which can help you with casting, like an actual summonable. So there's cool ways to bring these things together, and I haven't looked at all this. There's you can make it so this stuff creates flow. Flow is a mechanic. Maybe this one comes with flow by default. Yeah. Deals weapon damage to a single target, consumes flow. Some abilities or modifiers showing flow. Others consume it for stronger effects. If the skill consumes flow or the target is killed, its cooldown is refreshed. So this gains flow. Does not consume flow for a bonus effect anymore. If you kill a marked enemy for this attack, it'll gain flow. So now I can use this as a flow generator for something else that consumes flow to launch one more projectile. When directly used, consumes flow to hit the target with 4 shadow daggers. It gives me a shadow clone, and the shadow clone will do certain things. So I think this I really want to make a build with this, and I think it'd be pretty cool to take like shadow clone and blink and do a bunch of electric stuff. So it's like we're just blinking all over the place, and there's clones and shit. And it's like, that's cool. I have the capability to do that if I want. Or I can go hard in the paint with like Warfare preview and do some like, okay, Rain of Arrows. Some of these can be turned into ranged abilities. Student Strike. One of these can be turned into like, oh, this is now a ranged attack. I think it's Barrage. Yeah. No. Well, this will use whatever your thing is. So it requires dagger, sword, spear, or ranged. So Barrage can be a ranged ability if you're using a ranged ability, if you're using a bow. So, and we've talked about this too at the very beginning, right? Into the core, your base weapon damage here, I can have it do volley. You have a 40% chance to shoot +2 projectiles in a cone. And that's just your base attack. So you can have a lot of really fun complexity linked into this. It just doesn't look like it at first blush. And I think that's what's pretty cool about this game. But what are the detractors, right? What are the things that the game's not doing too well right now? Variety. We just talked about it and mathed it into the ground, right? It does still need its variety. The spirit mastery is coming, like I talked about, and that's more of a summoner who brings up a bunch of spirit warriors to fight with you. We got something similar in the Hades DLC, and I think it was called Dream Mastery, and it had a blink in it, and it had some other crazy stuff. I hope at launch we don't have 6 masteries. I think 8 is a good number. Because we had so many. I would like to see nature. I'm looking up what the Titan Quest 1 masteries were. For some reason, when I Google something, it makes you want to do a CAPTCHA. Our system has detected unusual traffic from your computer network. Like, no? What did this game launch with? Dream. Dream is the one I was thinking of. Defense was one too. I forgot about that. Hunting. Hey, what is up, Wong? Here we go. I'll show you what bow looks like real quick, Mary. Nature, I think no, nature was in the game by default. Runes, Dream, and Needin were added after the fact. I can't remember if Spirit was. Cubby, what's up, man? But Warfare was really fun. These were my 2 that I played all the time. Storm. Defense was another one. Defense was actually really cool. I don't know if they'll add a defense because a lot of defense has been built into Warfare now. Nature was great for a lot of summonings. You can make basically a rogue, but you could do nature. I'm sorry, druid. You could do nature and hunting, and then you were just straight up a ranger. Or you could do nature and earth, and you were like a very conventional, or nature and storm and a very conventional druid. And what's cool is all these things have a corresponding title to them. Let's go title. So Earth and Warfare is a battle mage. Google is so slow now. That's not very colorful. It used to be. I've used this before when we were taking this. It's like a very cool, colorful one, but whatever. We'll use this. A flicker. Oh my god, I haven't used flicker in 9,000 years. So if I was a defense and dream, that was Templar. If I was earth and hunting, it was an Avenger. Nature and hunting is Ranger. Nature and Needin is a hermit. Illusionist for rogue. Skin changer for rune. Summoner for earth. Ritualist for dream. Or guardian for defense. So you saw you had all these different. Where's warfare on this list? I guess down here. No, that's fine. Or rogue and hunting is a brigand. Rune and defense is a runesmith. So you see, there's that was kind of a cool portion of this game. Spirit and rune was a shaman. That's kind of nifty. I never played with rune, Needin, or I barely played dream, I don't think. I will show you very quickly though. Archery. So archery, my archer character here. So this Reaver and this, they're the same combination, which is warfare and rogue, but they're 2 different configurations. This is archer. This is just 2-handed smash things with a mace thing. So we have, looking just at core, right? So core has volley, has tailwind, so +2 projectile penetration and more projectile speed, hamstring, and enhanced ailments. So now I have a enhanced ailment chance because we're doing rogue, and rogue gives me preparation. I have nothing else in this rogue area, just preparation. So this is just giving me physical damage and poison damage increase. That's it. Get you 30% weapon damage converted to pierce, and aura grants you your allies +10% or +10 weapon damage, pierce damage. Then this does damage, attack speed, cast speed, crit chance and damage, pierce damage, and bleed chance. And this one is increased damage with weapon attacks. That's it. That's all pulling from rogue. The rest is all warfare. For bleed chance, we're really leaning into bleed here. And remember too, we're pulling in bleed amount and bleed duration. We've got vitality, we've got projectile speeds and damage and penetration. This is armor, right? Health and armor. And then this one is damage with weapon attacks and attack speed. And then all of our action skills are rain of arrows. For this consumes overwhelm. This does pin cushion, slow, and downpour. So 3 additional waves, 12% less damage, but 30 more cost. War banner is a sustained aura. So I place the banner down and I get 15% total damage buff, but I gives allies 5% increased total damage per second inside up to 25. Buff grants 10% increased skill speed and activation speed. And then I have that sword, which will also give me tons of attack speed, movement speed, everything. So we drop this down, we put this on, I put this on. And that's just my base shot. Pretty cool, right?
Just preoccupied with
I'll show you what it's like in person. Rogue used to be a real common one people would take. What am I doing? Pressing Q. What's up, man? How are you? And when people get my little arrow, my little thing here, I just drop arrows on them. And I've also increased this, the core. This has increased dodge, so I can actually dodge multiple times. So distance is increased, after dodge gain and increased speed, and the cooldown charge. But I have 3 charges of it. You can't see it. I'm not blocking it good. So I can go boop, boop, boop. And as long as I stay within that banner, I'm getting a damage buff. Stacking right here. Oops, that's not it. Oopsies. Sorry. So it's pretty cool, right, Mary? Bow's really, I mean, but I could have gone Storm with this build.
We need to meet Thespius
and made it so my arrows are now shooting lightning and ice. And leaned into that more.
With the Ixian gods.
Remember we died right here in our last build? The Romphalia. So, a lot of really great stuff here. Any questions you guys have before we conclude the stream? Anything like, oh yeah, you know, how does this play? I can show you what elementals look like. I have that build. But yeah, I think some systems that I'd want to see are like a transmog system. I don't know what this button is. I don't know if this is like a filter button or something. This thing's fucking cool looking. Gnarly looking Kopesh. There is a very rudimentary, like I showed before, loot filter, but it says right here, note this is a very basic implementation of the loot filter. We will add new features to create a more powerful loot filter in the future. So that wasn't in the game by default, so at least now it's here. So those are good things. I do think the teleportation thing is a little wonky, like not the teleportation per se, but like there's a lot of layering into that, and that's kind of gnarly. There's lots of quests in this game. There's lots of little hidden, it bugged out when we did it, but we did, remember that place where we were just killing things? There was a bunch of pillars everywhere. That was one of like the hidden little like dungeons and quests and stuff. Like there's lots, the faded quests are your main quests, world quests are like fun ones that you can find. There's lots of quests in this game. It's just kind of part of it. It's just about blending that narrative together.
Welcome to and how are you, friend?
Like this.
Well, I can make it worth your while.
Oh, okay. I can find these ethereal ore. You can see it's got the symbol here. Oops. Yes, both. Sometimes items. So we are up. Prologue is what you start off with, and flooded farms. This is what the game started with. They added northern beaches a couple months after launch. Arcadian Plains came, I think, at the very beginning of the year, around like February. Wildlands just launched today, so it looks like we have another whole act coming, which I think is at the very end of the year. They put their dev pipeline up, and the next patch is crafting and pets and summons. Oh, summon update's now live. Okay, interesting. Here. So their dev pipeline, Oracles have spoken, Tekken Quest 2 gets new roadmap for 2026. And okay, Wildlands is content update for 2026. Feature update is crafting and summons in 2026. Both of those have happened. The next update is the system update, which adds the spirit mastery. And then future updates are new chapters, new items, new enemies, new bosses, new quests, new features, improved multiplayer, additional languages, and more. Second half of 2026. Major updates are planned every 3 months. Expect balancing, bug fixing, and minor updates every 1.5 months. Hotfixes will be released as needed. So I don't know what that means. I don't know if that means that we'll see the system update with Spirit Mastery in September or in a month and a half. So I would imagine the new chapter is a major update, but maybe they just roll in Spirit Mastery with that. So we'll have to see. But guys, thank you so much for watching here today. Gonna have a whole video on this now. I'm gonna work on that probably tomorrow or so. Get that out on Saturday. I'll pretty much just kind of rehash a lot of what we just talked about, like kind of what's the current state of Titan Quest. Anything specifically you want me to bring up that I didn't talk about, anything like that, just go ahead and let me know real quick. Other than that, we're gonna end our stream here. Let's see who we're raiding. Raiding the channel. Who am I gonna raid? Who am I gonna raid today? Ooh, Dark Tide, huh? Marvel Rivals, Titan Quest. Woody Joe's playing. He's playing Titan Quest 2 as well. I'll send you guys over to him. You too, man. Thanks so much for watching, Kier. Yeah, this is a sponsored stream. So again, thank you so much to THQ Nordic for sponsoring me. Let's send you guys on over to Woody Joe. Keep the sponsorship train rolling. He might have a better like take on everything, because you know he's Woody Joe and Rax and Macro Bio Boy, Darth, all those guys just they live and breathe action RPGs. Have a better mind for it than I do. But like we said, like Kirazan said, I know just enough to have fun. But guys, thank you so much for watching here today. Have a good one. Take care. Wash your hands. Stay safe. I'll see you guys on this weekend. I'm going to be Saturday. I'll be with my dad, my parents, for Father's Day. I don't think I'll be streaming on Sunday. Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm going to keep it consistent. I've been doing it the last like 2 weeks. Those are my stream days. The weekends make it a little more challenging, because then I come into the weekday like a little like burnt out already. I'm like, oh fuck, man. But when I'm like really hyped up for a game, it just kind of, it's all over the place. But again, thank you so much for watching. Have a good one. Take care. Let's send you guys on over to Woody Joe here in 3, 2, 1. Raid.